All right, I'm unmuted now. What is good, party people? How we doing? Jack will be here in just a moment. We were scheduled for 4, but Crown Jewel ran until about 4:10 or something. So we decided to do 4:30 just to make everything even here. So, oh, the ticker. I'll put the ticker up. Shut up. 1 second here. All right, here's what we got to talk about today. Little preview of everything here. Like I said, just waiting on Jack to get in here. Yeah, we're gonna talk about a lot of shit today. We're gonna open up with the Crown Jewel reaction results, overall thoughts of the show, things like that. Definitely some strange booking decisions, I'd say, which I'm sure will make sense long term. But as for the first match, well, I'll wait for Jack to get in here for that. But they're about to begin the championship presentation bullshit over there. Whatever the bullshit they're doing. So, besides that, I've been sick as shit lately. That's been fun. I think a big part of it has to do with Halloween. It was 80 fucking degrees on Halloween here. And then the next day it was like 42 with like 35 mile per hour winds and shit. So yeah, I was out all day for the most part for Halloween. Because if you see my video on Twitter, it's not easy to give out candy where I live. So I have to like flag the kids down. So we'll talk about that too. Let's see here. All right, Jack should be coming any moment here. But yeah, like I said, rest in peace, MF Doom. Bronson Reed with the MF Doom tribute gear. Fire. I like to hear some personality with his gear and shit, you know. Shit. All right. So, we're going to talk about some more good old church folk. They were a certain took up a certain segment of the show last week. It's pretty funny. So we have some more stuff on them. I ended up getting banned from a community on Twitter because there's a black gothic kid kept putting up like pictures of his outfits and shit. And I'm like, I just had to be honest and tell him that like the gothic shit doesn't suit black people, though. You know what I mean? Peanut the squirrel, got to cover that. Who would have thought that a squirrel could sway the election? Fucking sick shit. So we got Crown Jewel results. We have the Alexa Bliss scammer thing to cover here. Long distance relationships, good or bad. Let's see here. As I said, more good old church folk. My cat wants to get outside, which I might let him. Yeah, actually, I'm gonna let this cat real quick. Be right back. Come on. Come on. Go. Shit. All right. I have returned. My cat has turned into like a halfway inside-outside cat. So I've shown him some trust, and he's given me every reason to. He sticks around, He's a cool cat. Election night live, yes. A big deal. We'll be broadcasting all night. We'll both be in our own special, separate locations. Just waiting on this fool. Let's see here. Oh, yeah, we have some Halloween costumes to get into, too. Some of the better Halloween costumes from the weekend. Let's see here. Ooh. Okay. Correlation between sense of humor and IQ. That was something that Jack brought up. Let's see. Yeah, so basically, at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw up a banner here. And I'm going to go off screen until Jack arrives. So when he gets here, I will be back with you. All right, so Jack will be here in a minute. Once he is, we can begin the show. Thank you for patiently waiting, for everyone who did. We can get this ball rolling in just a moment here. They're doing the Crown Jewel post show, so I've been watching that. Match of the night, I'm not sure. Either the first one or the triple threat. Gunther Cody was all right. It was nothing special to me. There goes Jack right there. You?
What were you on?
I was kind of just lamenting over Crown Jewel. What did you think? What did you think of the show overall?
It was a good show for a little just in between stuff, kind of a filler show, so there's not so much time in between Survivor Series and the last one.
Yeah, well, Survivor Series is the last one, isn't it?
Whatever we had before that.
Yeah. Okay.
Hell in a Cell.
Yeah. Okay. For match of the night, I was thinking either the opener or the triple threat.
I was saying Seth Rollins versus Gunther could be in the running for that too.
Bronson Reed,
or Bronson Reed, sorry.
Yeah, that was a solid match too. With that one though, I just feel like the wrong dude won.
And the main event was a little anticlimactic, but it was kind of expected because again, like this is a show that is nothing groundbreaking ever happens on it, and that's okay because it's kind of just a filler show because it's on early in the day. Not everybody's gonna catch it, all that. Yeah,
and they kind of booked themselves into a predicament to where you had to keep them both strong.
Yeah,
you had to come up with a funky kind of finish with like a Cody doing the Bret Hart headlock roll up fucking thing to get him. But I mean, it made sense because Gunther said he wanted to choke him out.
Yeah,
so it did kind of make sense for it to go that way, and it did protect Gunther in the sense that he didn't get he'd lose from a pin from like a Cody cutter or something.
They're really breaking kayfabe on this post show with Triple H presenting them the rings and stuff because it's like she cheated to win, but it's like they're treating it like it's some honorary like Olympics thing.
Yeah. So now, I'm assuming that like the next Crown Jewel that both Cody and Liv would have to defend that.
Title, I'd assume. I don't really know. Because they don't like they've been saying for a couple weeks they don't get to keep the belts. They stay there, but they get like a Super Bowl ring essentially.
Yeah. I seen them putting them on them there, and now they got LA Knight up there. Yeah. I'm not an LA Knight fan. I don't know. I don't get the appeal. I really don't.
I didn't at first.
Yeah.
Maybe because I wasn't watching that consistently, so I didn't at first. But then it grew on me. He's someone who can, to me at least, can thrive in the upper mid card. Towards the main. He's never going to carry a company, but I think he's definitely like a glue guy that understands his role.
Yeah, I mean, hey, he's definitely over. Like the fans love him. So, shit. I mean, he moves merchandise.
He never gave up either. Like he was in smaller shit for 20 years before.
Yeah. It's funny. There was that pocket of time on Twitter where everyone was like pulling up other shit that he did.
Yeah, he was in Aldi. Like he was in random shitty like Aldi grocery commercials.
Yeah, man. So hey, dude, you're right. Good on him for never giving up on that shit.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say like the finish. So the finish of the first match, I won't say it was completely unexpected, but I wasn't expecting Roman to get the pin.
No, I didn't think so either.
Like I could have seen, the new bloodline winning because then that sets up War Games. Yeah. But I was not expecting Solo to pin fucking Roman. I did not see that shit coming, dude.
But now that just furthers the story. It doesn't really weaken. It doesn't weaken Roman because he's been pinned before when he was champion by the Uso or whatever. So that just sets up more returns, more twists, more whatever. Sami Zayn came back, obviously. So it does it. I mean, it's not ground. Like, there's been times where the storyline was just so. Then there's times in the plot where it, it's
like drags.
So it was like it's good enough for just like a transitional thing to just set up the next thing for more returns, more twists, more turns, whatever. So that would mean the new bloodline would need a fourth guy in War Games, right? Because Sami Zayn would be on the OG bloodline.
Well, right, but the original bloodline, they have 4, right? They got Solo, Jacob, and then Tonga and his brother there.
Oh yeah, okay. So then that's 4 versus 4. I was thinking because this match was 3-on-3 that I was missing somebody.
Yeah. Because they left one out. They had to set up War Games, but I guess if they're saving the real Kevin Randy match for Survivor Series,
which is fine.
Yeah, no issues.
And they've really done it. Well, I'm glad they did this because it kind of felt like a waste of a pay-per-view, except for that one year when they had like the NXT invasion.
Yeah, which got forced by Saudi Arabia.
Yeah,
because I mean, this is not the official story they went out there with, but basically the fucking Saudi government were like refusing to let the wrestlers leave.
Really? When?
Yeah, at the first Crown Jewel.
Was it the first one?
The second one. It was so that
it must have been the second one because the first one was when Shane McMahon won the stupid trophy.
Right. So whichever one was, I think they said, I seen it on Twitter yesterday. It was 6 years ago that NXT invaded SmackDown. They had to do that because the talent was stuck over in Saudi Arabia.
It's kind of like that time where like all of Raw was stuck overseas somewhere because there was some volcanic eruption, and then so they had to have like all the SmackDown people on Monday Night Raw just to fill the show.
Yeah, they had to have like an emergency plan B kind of thing.
But go ahead.
No, I was gonna say it did set up a great Survivor Series where the one where you were talking about with NXT being involved in it.
Because for a few years it was really lacking with that whole champion versus champion thing. Like the time that they made Jinder Mahal drop the title on SmackDown because they knew nobody was going to take Brock Lesnar versus Jinder Mahal seriously.
Right? Yeah, everyone's like, this match is going to be fucking horrible.
So, Survivor Series kind of lacked there for a few years when it was just a champion versus champion. Because I'm like, this isn't Survivor Series. Survivor Series is the fucking elimination match, and now they've really stepped it up because it's the War Games match.
Right.
Whereas,
I'll be honest with you, like switching to War Games saved the pay-per-view to me because it was my least favorite Big Four. It was my least favorite one of the year.
It had been lacking, honestly, the last 20 years almost.
Yeah, for real. Since the invasion angle or some shit.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Yeah. The last memorable one before that was when Goldberg beat Brock in like 3 minutes or whatever.
Goldberg. That was 2016.
Yeah, there you go.
Toronto.
Yeah, that was unexpected. But
I literally just saw an article like as Crown Jewel is getting over that apparently Goldberg's gonna have a retirement match next year.
Again. I mean, how many is that now? I mean, Jesus Christ, dude.
Hope it's not gonna be more than 8 minutes. That's for sure.
No, it'll be quick.
It's just like,
why does he need one? Why do you need one so bad? Like I remember last year he wanted one, and neither WWE nor AEW, nobody would give him one.
Because he's not. I mean, I didn't learn this till I was a little bit older. But like when I was a kid, I would because I was too young to watch WCW and shit. So I didn't know enough that I would see Goldberg and watch like old matches on DVDs and shit. I'd be like, oh, that's so cool. But then as you get older, you really realize like, oh, he like actually is a shitty professional wrestler.
Yeah. I mean, like he was good for the time and like what they were trying to do. I'll never diminish like what he did for the business or WCW because he was a really big reason for their popularity.
Yeah,
and shit, dude.
But it was one of those things that like it happened organically, so it's not gonna it's not gonna work forever.
Yeah, and then that one classic Nitro match where William Regal fucking he was like, "You're gonna put me in here with this motherfucker who can't wrestle? All right, I'm gonna show you something."
Ever since he came back to WWE, it's just been some 3-minute shit. And like, just think like he completely, I mean, to at least to an extent, squashed that Kevin Owens push when he was Universal Champion. It's like Kevin Owens had a nice reign for 6 months, and then he gets squashed by 55-year-old Goldberg in 30 fucking seconds.
And then
he did go on to have a
good... Like he did it to the Fiend.
Yeah, same thing. Yeah. And
I'll never forget. I was working during that Crown Jewel. I'll never forget. I think it was you or Sean. Somebody texted me that Goldberg beat the Fiend, and I'm like, no, don't fucking tell me that, yo.
I think I was working during it too, because that was when it used to be on like a fucking Thursday,
like a Friday or some shit, right? Or a Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a Thursday afternoon at like 1 o'clock. Like, who the fuck's watching this?
Yeah, like it makes sense at least to have it on a Saturday, late morning, you know?
Right. Yeah, you're right. Because they was doing it like in the middle of the week. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, I'd be like on a Tuesday morning at 1 in the morning.
Yeah, and it's like, yo, like people, even though we're wrestling fans, we still have lives, bro.
Yeah, we have work.
Like, what the fuck, dude?
I think the very first one was when I was still going to junior college. So like, I couldn't even watch it, but
yeah.
But they do it up right now.
They really righted the ship. I'd say
both UFC and WWE. Like I could tolerate the early morning at least on a Saturday. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Because some of the overseas shows, like what was it? The one in Australia, the Elimination Chamber. I think it was either this year or last.
Yeah, it was the Australia one. It started at 2 a.m. Pacific time.
Like, bro, come on.
And I nothing crazy happened on that show because I think they expected that, like, not a lot of people were going to be watching that live, and like obviously I was just like, screw it. Like I saw the results as soon as I woke up.
And I
mean, just watched it like the next day, like
and
paying attention.
The card wasn't strong enough to wake up at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
To watch. I mean, come on. You know.
I think the only one I remember back when the independents mattered more than they obviously do now. Now, besides the really small stuff like MLW or whatever, like they don't even really exist because of AEW. But I remember back when like New Japan was the shit. I remember I had New Japan World, which was like the equivalent to WWE Network. And I watched Wrestle Kingdom live one year. But that started at like 11 o'clock at night my time, and then got over 2 o'clock.
Yeah, see, I only watched one live, and it was the one with Omega and Jericho. I actually got up for that shit.
Yeah, I watched the one. It was the year before. I don't remember who it was, but I remember I watched it live.
Yeah.
We cannot.
You know what I realized? I didn't know this. They're filming Raw in Saudi tomorrow.
Tomorrow? I mean,
so
it kind of makes sense. I remember when they used to film like back-to-back weeks of Raw, because then they'd be on the international travel the next week.
Yeah,
I guess that kind of makes sense, but I'm not 14 years old anymore. I don't look at any spoilers, so I won't even.
Yeah.
I might accidentally stumble across something on Twitter, but like back when I was like 14, when SmackDown wasn't live,
on Tuesday.
I would always have this just temptation to look at spoilers, and I always would. And like, I don't know why I would, but I just would. Like, I couldn't fight the temptation of it.
You know, that kind of opens up like an argument that some people say, and they say that like the dirt sheets and the spoilers and shit have ruined wrestling.
Yeah.
And there are some people who say that it's strengthened it because it like gives you it peels back the curtain.
Yeah.
A little bit and like gives you a behind the scenes kind of thing. And I can kind of see both ways.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I was growing up in like the Attitude Era and shit, the only spoilers you would get was if like Nitro was spoiling Raw, because it was a taped thing. But if both were live, you didn't know what was going to happen. So I get that aspect too. But then I also get that people's time is more valuable now.
Yeah.
These days, especially as you get older.
Well, and there was a point when WWE was at its rough point where they were asking for way too much of our goddamn time. They were asking for 3 hours of Raw, 2 hours of SmackDown, hour of NXT, hour of NXT UK.
Right.
Now they've definitely trimmed it down as they should. Yeah. And that's why the product is way better, and it's more than just tolerable. At that point in time, it was tolerable at best, honestly.
The only thing worth watching was the opening segment and the main event. Everything in between sucked.
It's funny, like up until I don't know how much my brother watches like week to week, but I remember last year he went to SummerSlam, or no, he went to the Raw after SummerSlam in Detroit because it was in Minneapolis. But then he was always like, "Yeah, I don't watch any of the live shows, like unless he would go to them, like he'd go to the one Raw a year or whatever." He's like, "Yeah, I don't go to them, or no, I don't watch it week to week." He's like, because all it is just Miz TV.
He's not wrong for that era. That's really what it was.
Yeah.
And they would promote it, they'd be like, so-and-so on Miz TV next week. And I'm like, I don't give a shit about Cena on Miz TV.
The cutting edge, the highlight reel.
Yeah, man. You know, they don't have there is no, like, outside of Miz TV, that's the only wrestler talk show thing, right?
And I mean, they did the Logan Paul one a few times.
Oh yeah.
Back then, back in the day, there used to be the cutting edge.
Yeah.
Carlito's Cabana.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
The highlight reel, Miz TV. Don't forget MVP's VIP Lounge.
Yep. That's right. Yeah.
I remember back when there was that MVP and Matt Hardy feud, and then they would like do something different every week, and then they had them do like one-on-one basketball.
Yeah. They're doing like a sports competition kind of thing, kind of like what they did with like during COVID with the Viking Raiders and
the Street Profits. Where they played they did like archery and basketball and all this shit.
I mean, during that time, it was hard for me to criticize them because I'm like, yo, they're trying.
You just have to try something.
Yeah.
And it was funny because, like, you know how whenever you watch Raw, like, when it comes back from commercial, it shows, like, the city it's in, like, Tampa, Florida, or Minneapolis, or Seattle. But then every week for 4 months, it would just show the Performance Center.
Yeah. And until they finally got the Tropicana Field shit.
Yeah, it was at Tropicana Field for a while, and then it was also at UCF.
Yeah, they had to move because baseball resumed.
Well, it was somewhere first, and then it was at Tropicana.
Oh,
it was at UCF, I think, first.
Yeah, I think you're right, yeah.
Because then it was at Tropicana second, because then that Royal Rumble when Edge won.
Yep.
Kevin Owens and Roman had the match where they fought like all over the state because
and he like ran over.
They only used like one little bit of it, but then him and Kevin Owens fought like all over the stadium.
Yeah, that was a cool one actually. I didn't mind that, even though they did fuck up the ending.
Yeah.
Because Paul Heyman like chained fucking no. Paul Heyman was supposed to like unlock because he was chained to Roman and Kevin Owens were chained together.
I think so, yeah.
And Paul Heyman, like, he couldn't get the handcuff off in time, and like the match should have been over because it was the last man standing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it should have been over with, but
what was that one? There was a Royal Rumble match a couple years before that where it was like, I think it was Roman or Seth versus Kevin Owens, and then Chris Jericho was in the cage above them.
It was KO. Yeah, because it was when KO and Jericho were cool.
And then it was also when Roman and Seth were cool, and they were kind of helping. They were kind of fighting them together.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember who. I think it was against Seth. I think.
Yeah, I think it was too.
I want to say it was
because that was.
You know what? KO and Seth. I think it was his first title defense of his reign. I think it was at Hell in a Cell. That match doesn't get enough credit. That shit was a banger.
Well, because Kevin Owens and Seth feuded for a few years or a few months after that. Because remember, Finn Balor won the title and then had to give it up the next night. Yep. And then they had that fatal 4-way the next week on Raw, and that's when Kevin Owens won it.
Yep. And that led to like a 2-3 pay-per-view feud. So, yeah, they went on about 2-3 months, yeah.
And then I think he had a few different guys, and then I think they went back to Seth, or it might have been Roman.
I'm trying to think if he ever defended against Roman.
I could just look it up real quick.
Yeah.
Royal.
that title reign pissed me off a little bit, only because like it could have been so good, and you made Kevin Owens look like a bitch.
They failed him as champ. Like
they never.
There was never like a.
There was never a clean win.
It was Roman. It was Roman Reigns. Yeah.
Oh, was it? Oh, wow.
No disqualification match with Chris Jericho suspended above the ring in a shark cage. Oh. Randy Orton won the Royal Rumble that year because then that's when he was against Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania.
Yeah,
with the fucking with the snakes on the ring,
with the projector on the fucking mat and shit.
Yeah,
and that was so disappointing because the lead up to that match was fire, dude.
And it wasn't even that was CM Punk's gripe was like guys would win the Royal Rumble, then they'd be in the middle of the show because they just consider the 8 matches main events, and it's like no, the main event is the last match.
Right, yeah, and that's I could see like a co-main event thing. I can see that, right? Like you have 2 marquee matches. I get that, right? But anything beyond that, you're not going to sell me on if you're 4th before the fucking show's over that you main event. No,
or like when Del Rio won it and he was against Edge in the first match in Atlanta.
Yeah, right. And I don't know about you, and this goes for like any sport, but I mean, wrestling is really the only one that does it. I can't stand when a show starts off with the world title match.
Yeah, there hasn't been too many times, but that was definitely.
I remember the Seth versus Brock WrestleMania because Brock was going to do his shit.
It wasn't even like a match; it was like 8 minutes long.
Yeah.
And it was because that WrestleMania was fucking 12 hours long, and Brock Lesnar just wanted to get the fuck out of there.
Right? Yeah, he's like, yeah, I'm going on first. I'm getting the fuck out of here. I'm not staying here for this whole thing. All right. As I said, R.I.P. MF Doom.
We could stay on the topic of wrestling with the Alexa Bliss ordeal.
Yes, we can. Let me go ahead and share this here. All right. So, when I first put this ticker together, I thought it was $100,000. I didn't realize it was $1 million.
$1 million.
Jesus Christ. So Alexa Bliss imposter scam.
I'll wait till the article's up and then I'll talk about it. But like, you had $1 million burning a hole in your pocket. Like, you have to have some sort of mental illness to like. How do you fall for that? Like, I don't get it.
At 79 too. Like,
wait, he's 79.
I was reading some of the detail. I didn't read a lot of it. But,
I mean, I saw.
Yeah, that's what it says here. Alexa Bliss imposter scam $1 million from 79-year-old man. So what ended up happening was this guy died. This guy, he's no longer with us. So let's get into this here. Alexa Bliss has been off television since revealing her pregnancy last year. And while she remains off television, fake accounts have taken advantage of her absence, engaging in scams and deceitful behavior under her name. Unfortunately, it appears that a scammer posing as Bliss scammed $1 million worth of life savings and granddaughter's college fund from an old man. According to a report by the New York Times, a man was tricked by a scammer pretending to be Alexa Bliss. The scammer took nearly $1 million from the man, Alfred Manicelli, using his retirement savings and his grandfather's college fund. Alfred was 79 years old when he passed away over the summer. After his death, his son, Chris, visited his father's house for the first time and found a family photo on the refrigerator that included Alexa Bliss. Alfred had believed. Yeah. So
he was straight up senile. He was fucking senile, like Joe Biden.
Yeah. And found a family photo on the refrigerator that included Alexa Bliss. Alfred had believed he was in a romantic relationship with her, which led him to give a con artist a lot of money. There were other scammers that were involved too. To protect his father's money, Chris Manicelli moved the last $100,000. Oh, that's where I got the $100,000 from. He moved the last $100,000 into his safe account. However, Alfred sued him, claiming he was in a relationship with Bliss, and the real Alexa Bliss has warned her. And to be fair, I have seen her tweet shit like that and say like, I'm not asking you guys for money or anything like that. Don't send any money. I don't need your money. So I have seen posts like that from her account. After being forced into early retirement, he became more vulnerable to scams. Before the Bliss impersonator, Alfred sent money to others, pretending to be in need, like a woman named Kate, who said her daughter was sick, and another named Anna, who asked for money to help sick children. Over the years, Alfred's savings dropped from 900,000 just 128,000, mostly because of these scams.
Christ.
Jesus Christ, man. I'm not trying to fucking pick on the guy, but come on.
I mean, obviously he was old and fucking senile, but it's like, God.
Right.
I have to sit and think about borrowing someone $50 if they need it. And this dude's sending 6 figures to people like it's goddamn peanuts.
Right.
Like when someone, unless I really know them, like they're a really good friend or family member, whatever, I have to sit and think like, if I give this person $50, am I going to see it again? And this motherfucker was sending 6 figures like nothing.
My rule when it comes to lending out money is because if I lend out money, I always assume that I'm not going to get it back. Right.
Yeah.
So I have to consider if I can take that risk. You know, can I afford to lose?
If you can take it, if you can, if you could bite the bullet on that, you know what I mean?
Right. Obviously not this guy. The fake Bliss even told Alfred stories about Vince McMahon, claiming he had treated her badly. One tactic she used was to say she was in the hospital for severe menstrual pain and needed money for treatment. All of the scammers never talked to Alfred on video or audio. They sent him small gifts and even delivered pizza.
Pizza. Yeah. That's a really expensive pizza.
So they tracked this down to Nigeria, I guess. Chris Manicelli sought help and found that 2 devices from Nigeria were linked to his father's Google account. He set up a trust to manage Alfred's finances, but when that didn't work, he took the remaining $100,000 to keep it safe. Alfred responded by suing. So he sued his own son.
I know. I saw that up above. They mentioned that a little bit.
Alfred responded by suing Chris in early 2023 for his money back, plus interest and legal fees. After Chris gave his father the money, it was gone in just a month.
God.
Good Lord. Chris Manicelli believes that if his father hadn't passed away, he would have continued sending money to the scammers. Alfred has also looked into selling his home and took out loans using his car and TV as collateral. The scammers threatened Chris and even sent pictures of Alfred to his youngest granddaughter, demanding gift cards. Good Lord.
What kind of pictures?
All of Alfred's granddaughters knew he was being scammed. Unfortunately, Alfred passed away after having surgery on his neck due to a fall. Chris said his father was very stressed, trying to find ways to get more money for the scammers. This is certainly an unfortunate story, and it goes to show just how dangerous scammers can be, especially for elderly people who simply don't know any better. I mean, fuck, dude. What an awful story. Shit, dude. I mean, I know I said it was kind of hard to feel sorry for him. But
I didn't realize at first it was
only because I mean this. So as you know, I deal with scammers all the time.
Yeah,
every day, right? So I would feel like that they would target me because when I was working at the bank, I used to tell them like, "Yo, you're not going to get me," because like people would call in and they'd be telling me about like, "Yo." They'd be like, I got scammed. I'm like, tell me about the scam. So I know.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I feel like that they pass your name around the community, the scammer community.
Yeah. Like, oh, this guy's easy, hit him.
Yeah, right. Or like, like this guy's difficult, but this guy's easy. So for all we know, this all could have been the same person, just acting as 3 different individuals. But what an awful story, man. Like to gather up $1 million is hard,
There is like I told you one time, I like some catfish shit attempted to scam me, but like I knew better. It was some like fake Instagram profile of like an attractive girl a couple years ago, and it was like it looked decently legit, but like I knew better. And it would like send messages where it like almost sounded like a normal like a real person, but then it tried to ask me for money, and it would say like, "Oh, I need food for me and my daughter," blah blah blah, and then like again because it was posing as like a pretty attractive woman in this day and age, if she did this to 10 dudes, she probably would have got a hit with 6 or 7 of them.
Well, especially if they're older.
100%.
50 plus. I mean, they just want the attention.
Yeah, right.
Like,
they don't
like
comment
all the time. Like me and you talk about all the time about like the divorced women that are like 45, 50.
Yeah.
and post the pictures up on Facebook. The only comments you're getting are fucking the creepy old guys.
Yeah, some dude with a tank top on, trying to look all tough, saying absolutely stunning, gorgeous.
Yeah, fucking mad exclamation points and shit. Yeah.
You know, we always learn. I'll tell this to any. I don't just say this for that, but I'll say it to anyone. The dude, if you like a girl or you know a girl or whatever, the dude that's fucking her is not in her Instagram comments. I'll tell you that right now.
No, you're right. You're 100% right. Got that right.
And that goes for anyone, young or old or
whatever. Yeah, 100%, bro. But shit, man, I do feel old. I do feel bad for that old dude, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, it's sad to say, but like maybe it was for the best that he passed away. Because
that they found out, but like now, like it was his granddaughter's fucking college fund, and they have nothing. I mean, in a way, like I'm not trying to be insensitive, but I guess again, I'm not one of those people. Like I don't want anyone in my family to pass away. Right. There are greedy motherfuckers out there that like can't wait till their grandma dies. Like I don't like my grandma passed away last year, and I didn't care about any of that, you know. And but like basically, my mom told me that like she like didn't have a lot left over because in like the last years of her life, she went on this fucking spending spree and bought like a brand new 2020 car, a winter house in Arizona, like all this stuff. So it's like she didn't really like. Again, I don't care.
Well, I can see both sides of that because like, on one hand, like I worked all my life for this money.
Yeah.
Right. So like I feel like that if I know I'm on like my last 5 years, I'm gonna live it up.
Yeah.
Right. But on the other hand too is like, at least for me, like I want to leave something behind as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I want to try to set my people up for success after me.
Yeah.
When I'm not, you know. So just an unfortunate situation with this old guy. And of course they got traced back to Nigeria. Of course it did.
What's your take on long distance relationships? You flying 3,000 miles? You racking up those Alaska Airlines credit card points or what?
So, as somewhat of a veteran on long distance relationships, I feel like that they're when done correctly, and it's not easy to be done correctly, but when done correctly, I think they're the last like bastion of romance left in the world. I think, dude.
But you think so?
I do. I really do. Because with like social media and like everyone like having access to each other whenever they want it.
Yeah.
You don't have to like long for anybody anymore. You know, you don't have to miss anybody.
Really don't. Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, it's not for everybody, you know. And like the distance sucks sometimes, but I don't know. Like I said, I mean, I get both ends of it. I get why someone would be against it and why someone would be for it. I mean, I'm not doing it ever again.
I'm
good. You know,
I don't have your experience. I don't have your experience in it, but I have decent little experiences. But I've heard again. I see both sides of it because it's like one like, do you really have like a long-term future together? Like, do you plan on moving there? Does she plan on?
Yeah, it's definitely something that you have to.
I think you have to have at some point in time. You have to have some sort of plan, sort of.
Yeah, I agree, 100%.
But then like another thing I once saw on a video, a guy was talking about where he goes, kind of the downfall of them is that you only see them in their best for a week when they fly out, when they're dressed their best, they're looking their best. You don't see them on a daily or weekly basis when, oh, this day we were great, this day we're fighting, this day sucked because he had a bad day at work, like stuff like that. So there's definitely two sides to the coin. And then there's some people, both guys and girls, who might not be secure enough for it, and they'll fucking drive themselves insane, like wondering what the goddamn person's doing all day. And for those people, like I said yesterday, like for those people, I would recommend don't go for anyone that's longer than like an hour away from you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. You know, I guess the one good thing with the technology, because that's another thing I want to get into too, is that technology is so embedded in our lives, right? Like I have a fucking Rolex, right? And I never wear it because this fucking Apple Watch is taking over my life. It's taking over my life.
Yeah, like think about like the times you forget to bring your charger. Well, you work from home, but like think about the times that like you forget to bring your charger, or you're just clumsy and you like leave your house with 20%. You know you're going to be gone for 4 hours, like, and then you don't have a phone for an hour.
You get this feeling of dread in your chest, like, oh fuck.
Yeah. You feel like your life is ending. Or there was a time where like one time I left my I only had like one charger because my other one like broke, or you know how they just burn out after a while.
I
only had one charger, and I didn't realize till after I got home I left it at work, and my work's like 25 minutes away. So I'm like, well, fuck it. Like I have two iPhones, and I had two iPhones then, so it's not that bad. But like again, like I talk to all my friends and family and shit on my personal one, and then my work one. I mean, people have my work iPhone number like as an emergency, but like I had two phones, but again, like all my shit is on this one, and this one was dying, and the other one, the battery's always great because I barely use it. So my charger burned out. I forgot it at my other one, and then so I couldn't use my main one till like the next morning, and I felt like my fucking life was ending.
Yeah, dude, it's fucking nuts. It's like or you know, sometimes like you said, the chargers burn out, and like you get that short where you gotta do that thing where everyone I'm about to explain this, and everyone's gonna know exactly what I'm talking about. And you have to like wrap the cord a certain way, or like put the cord a certain way, and you just like, oh fuck, and then you're like hoping that your phone charges overnight.
Yeah. And then sometimes it doesn't because you nudged it a little bit.
Yeah, and you're like, fuck, I thought I had it right, and like like shit, dude, like technology, it's really fucked up that we like as much as I'm glad that I met you and that we do the show and that we're friends, right? And we're like brothers and shit. The fact that like we should not know each other.
I know, like even 15 years ago, it would have been unheard of.
Right.
And I remember like, not everyone, iPhones weren't so damn mainstream until like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Because when the first iPhone came out in 2007, it felt like only fucking celebrities had them. Yeah. And then the only other people I knew that had them besides, like, because even like my mom had like, saw like a flip phone, and my dad had Blackberries. So my dad
dude, remember, there used to be beef between BlackBerry and iPhone. I forgot about that.
Yeah. And so the iPhone came out like when I was going into like 6th grade. And the only people who had them that I saw like in person when like the iPhone 1 came out was my school teachers. Like one of the,
I was going to say like professors, teachers.
One of the teachers or like the school like bought all the teachers them as a gift or some shit. But
is that what it was? Oh.
Or so at least that's what it was at my middle school. And then like I remember, how like I don't know, it was probably the same for you, but like how at school or work, like they always have like the NCAA tournament games on.
Yeah. Yep.
And then we did brackets like in this one class, and then like the games we didn't see. My teacher's like reading them in 2008. My teacher's reading them off of her iPhone. I'm like, that's like my mind was fucking blown. And now it's like everyone in the goddamn world has an iPhone, rich, poor, indifferent, no matter what, somehow. I mean, I guess because there's so many models, so I guess you can always kind of have a cheap one.
Yeah. Shit, I remember a few years back, what was it? 2019, I think it was. I had the iPhone SE. That was actually my favorite iPhone, was the SE, because it's the last one that actually fit in your fucking palm.
Yeah.
And like it still had the home button and all that shit.
The first one I ever had was the 5C, those ones they made in the colors.
Yeah.
I had the white one. And then I had a 6S Plus, so I had a big one. And then I went back down to small because I had an iPhone X. And then I got this one like 2021. I need to upgrade it. I'm just never have the time to go down to Verizon, but I got this one.
It's like a hassle, dude, because they got to move your shit over.
I know they got to move your shit over. I'm like, I gotta fucking buy a new case.
It literally takes like 2 fucking hours.
Yeah, right. Like, and again, like I could go do it like right now after we're done. Yeah. But like, I don't want to sit at fucking Verizon for an hour. Like, don't.
Right.
And it's like
pour all my shit over.
Don't get me wrong. Like this thing's starting to burn out a little bit. Like the battery's not as good and stuff. But it's like, dude, like I just, it's funny. Like when you're a kid, you like as soon as you were able to get an upgrade, like you wanted the new phone. I'm
like that day.
As you get to be an adult, you're like, nah, I don't give a fuck. I'll use this thing till it fucking burns out. I don't care.
Yeah, I agree. Trying to think here. Shit. Okay. Let's see. Okay, you want to get into some costumes from Halloween?
Yeah. Did the slides work?
I'm trying to do it like this. Let's see here. Let's see. Okay, hold on. Wait 1 second. All right, so I'm gonna just pull them up one by one. Oh, okay. So we'll start with this one here. Hold on. Present, share screen. Okay. All right, let me know when this pops up here. Okay, great. Okay, good.
Yeah, there we go. Okay.
So let me go ahead and make this full screen here. And bigger if I could. Okay, here we go. So this is one of the more creative ones that I've seen. It's Trump deporting somebody.
See, that one can't even be considered offensive because they obliged to it.
Right, yeah. It's like, dude, Trump putting her in a box is pretty funny. I found that one pretty funny. Let's see what other one we got here. We got Tyreek Hill getting arrested.
Decent enough.
Yeah, not bad. This one here.
I saw another one of these, but it was Shohei Ohtani card.
Oh, okay. I like the throwback of Ken Griffey Jr. Can't hate on it. We got Carrie here.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, very, very creative, honestly, with the bucket and shit, dude. Hell yeah. This one here is the villain, the T2, Terminator 2.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see here. We got Ratatouille.
Yeah, it's decent enough.
Yeah. Thought that was cool. This one was cool as shit. The grandma worm from SpongeBob.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. This one here is two dudes going as a pair of titties.
Oh my god!
And they won first place. It says here in the costume contest. Very creative on that one. The dance exchange. And they're all fucking bags of money. That's about how that goes, buddy. And this one here, this guy dressed up as a bong.
I got the Halloween party as a bong, so she will finally hit this.
Yeah. So let's see if I missed any here. Let's see. Nope. Okay. Yeah. So that's. I did find a couple others, but I didn't send them over because they were having the issue with the Google Slides and shit.
There was that Oscar Pistorius one.
I didn't see that one.
I remember I sent it to you where the guy looked like he had double amputee legs and then he had a.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. Shit. Let's see here. You seen this just happened, so I wasn't able to put it on the ticker. But you seen how Jason Kelsey, the video?
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I saw that this morning when I woke up.
And good for him, standing up for both his brother and his girlfriend.
What did he say again? What did the guy say to him again?
So he was walking. He was walking past something. I don't even know what they were doing. If it was like a parade, I don't know what the fuck it was. But they were walking down the street, and a fan goes, "Hey, Jason, how does it feel to know that your brother's a faggot for dating Taylor
That's
Swift?"
right. I remember someone said
like,
that.
How does that make him? It makes him like biggest anti-faggot. You'd think.
Yeah.
Like,
you're with a woman. You're not a faggot.
Well, no, just not even that. It's just like one of the. I mean, you know that I'm a Taylor Swift fan, but even beyond that, like I'm not saying she's a drop dead gorgeous, but she's an attractive woman.
Yeah,
talented. You know, like how does that make you a faggot, dude?
Yeah, exactly.
And Jason smashed the guy's phone on the ground.
Yeah, I saw that.
Now
he'll sue him.
Oh yeah.
It's chump change to Jason Kelsey,
but I respect his willingness to stand up for his brother and his girlfriend. I do respect that. Let's see here.
We've been talking about Hot Topic a lot, so we could get on that hot topic, literally.
Yeah, go ahead. What
was that? That was the goth, right?
Yeah. So again, with the Google Slides not working, just kind of fucks the segment up. But I got kicked out of a Twitter community because, and what I said wasn't even that bad. It was pretty tame, I thought.
Yeah.
So this black gothic kid posted his picture of his outfit, and like he constantly does this shit every week for attention. So
and it's like the get up too, like the trip pants.
Yeah. Right. And I had to be honest and be like, listen, dude, and this is not a racial thing. Well, I guess it kind of is, but to me, like being like black doesn't fit being gothic, dude. And when I was in high school, all the gothic black kids were weird as fuck.
Yeah, Mario Judah.
Yeah, he's probably the only one. Well, you know what? I like his music, but I don't think I'd hang out with him.
Yeah, he'd probably be too annoying.
Yeah,
too sweaty too.
And it made me think of this tweet where it was like, because someone was complaining about if you're black and like anime that you get picked on in school or whatever, and the dude was like, no, tell the whole story about how you went and tried to go Super Saiyan and shit in gym class, you know, and that's how they would be.
In front of the hose.
Right. Yeah. So just overall to me, I feel like, you know, like if you're black, why do you want to be? That's a white thing. It's really like the one white thing that we have that no one else
they always make fun of like whites shooting up schools and shit. So like, you know, like I'm not saying like anything should be, you know, I don't know, like just to one kind of people, but like, yeah, I could see the sense in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, why would you want to be? Like, I never understood.
Right.
I never, like, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm like a pretty big, like, just like metal fan, but I'm not full blown fucking gothic. I mean, I wore that leather jacket for Halloween, but like, that's not how I dress every day. But like, I never understood it. You know what I mean? And like, my dad, because when me and my dad went to the Metallica concert, there was like this fucking anime convention going on like right next door to the hotel we were at. And my dad's like, look, whatever you and your brother were into growing up, like I was accepting of it. Like obviously you were just into most of the shit I was into, like sports and all that shit. He's like, and like I was never gonna judge you guys if you were into other shit that I wasn't really into. But he's like, but anime and the fucking chain pants is where I would have drawn the line.
Well, I agree with your dad on that, actually.
And he's like, there's
Margot Robbie. We can break some news. I just got a notification from Daily Mail that Margot Robbie gave birth to her first child.
Who's the dad? Who's the dad? I forgot.
Some regular dude.
It's always some regular dude. God damn it.
Damn, man. That's why when I seen that shit about Anna Kendrick, that's why I shot my shot at her, dude.
Who's the one that was with the fucking alligator tour guide, Lana Del Rey?
Yeah. And seeing her marry this guy, that's really opened me up. Because, before they got married, because I thought she was just going to date the guy, you know?
Yeah.
So before they got married, I remember I told you, I'm like, when she leaves this dude, I'm shooting my shot, dude, because obviously an average, regular fucking dude has a chance here. Right? And then she goes off and marries the fucking guy. Like, fuck.
You know, I remember when the reality show Total Divas started, and I watched it because whatever, it's wrestling, you know, and you know, it's cool seeing like John Cena and Daniel Bryan's life behind the scenes and shit. And so like I watched it, and like of course that was like I had barely started dating on my own. I was still basically a fucking kid. And so like I thought like Eva Marie was really hot. And I thought, and it was like, why are all these fucking smoke shows with these regular ass dudes? Like, she was with that douchey, like, whatever he was, that bald dude. And then fucking same thing as the Funkadactyl chick was pretty hot. And she was with that, like, lame ass dude named Vinny who, like, wasn't even fucking famous.
Yeah. And then Sasha, she just got divorced from the dude who did, like, the fucking, the Divas ring gear.
Yeah, I don't know if it was the same dude or it was a different dude, but she used to be with another dude too that was like only used as enhancement talent for like performance center people or something like that. It never made sense to me.
Maybe it's a powerful woman thing. They want to be above their man.
That's true.
That's all I'd really come up with.
They know that like. Again, like we both talk about like wanting to be the providers and stuff. Yeah, right. Yeah. But there are other dudes. There are other dudes who are like what?
That don't see it that way.
Yeah, who marry a rich older chick. It's like no, dude. Like we've talked about it before where it's like, yeah, okay, when it's good, it's gonna be good, but then you're gonna start fighting, and then she's gonna tell you, well, you wouldn't have any of this stuff without me. It's like, I want to be in a position where a woman can never say that to me.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I'm going to be fucking straight with or without somebody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And plus, like, I don't want, you know, like when I meet somebody, I don't even tell them my job. I don't tell them how much money I make. If they asked me like it was a police interrogation, I would fucking say it. But like I've told you about those past experiences where like girls dropped off on me after like one date because they're sitting there babbling about their job and that they own a house. And I'm like, yeah, that's cool. That's an accomplishment. But like I wasn't fucking oohing and ahhing. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to be with you for sure now. It was like, all right, that's cool. But like, what about you? How are you as a person?
Right. Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong; those are all good things, and they are things that you should want to.
Well, like they expected me to like be more attracted to them because of that.
Yeah, right. She wanted that to blow you away.
Yeah.
Like, oh wow, whoa! I can step into this situation, you know.
And it was kind of just like, all right, well, that's great. That's an accomplishment, and then and then it never went anywhere after that. So I'm like, all right, like I'm sorry, like I don't pursue someone to sit and talk about fucking finances in my fucking career. It shouldn't even matter.
Yeah, the more I think about it, I think it is a control thing. I really do.
Yeah, because like there are, again, like that girl I went on a date with 6 months, 4 or 5, 6 months ago. She will meet somebody, or maybe has, who will fucking bow at her knees for her for that, you know. But it's not gonna be. It's not me.
Yeah. All right. Let's see here. Let's see. Election night live.
Who's Peanut the squirrel?
Oh, so you haven't seen this on Twitter yet today? Let me go ahead and pull up an article here. So, in the great state of New York, where I live, there was a squirrel named Peanut.
Yeah.
And let me pull this up here. Okay. All right, let's see here. Go ahead and pull up this article. I'm surprised you haven't seen nothing about this yet, Jack. It's been all over Twitter all day.
I kind of was off Twitter during this.
Okay. So this is a social media squirrel. Okay. Let's pull it up here. Should show in a second. So this is a social media squirrel. And they've had this squirrel for 7 years. Okay. Mm-hmm. And okay, there we go. All right, there's the article. Okay, so they seized the squirrel and fucking euthanized it.
Yeah. And it was someone's.
The guy went on TMZ and was rightfully fucking pissed. Yeah, so New York State authorities recently seized Peanut, an internet famous squirrel from a New York man's home, resulting in the beloved critter's euthanization and sparking outrage among fans. Peanut, known for his cowboy hat and waffle-loving antics, has gained a social media following of over 500,000. Mark Longo, Peanut's owner, was devastated by the state's action. So what they did to this dude is fucking nuts. Dude, you want to talk about government overreach? Wait until you hear the details of this shit. According to Longo, at least 6 officers from the Department of Environmental Conservation, DEC, came to his door, seizing Peanut and another of his unconventional pets, Fred the raccoon. All right, so there's both of them.
Yeah, I saw the Fred the raccoon thing when I was searching right now.
Longo expressed shock and sorrow, describing both animals as cherished members of his sanctuary, which he founded in 2023 as a safe haven for rescued animals. The news has sparked widespread backlash, even with Elon Musk weighing in on X, saying the government should leave people and their animals alone. Many fans echoed similar sentiments, demanding compassion and calling for it. So let me see if this will actually play, because it's not a YouTube video. So let's see, because this is where he really like explains, and you can see like why he's really pissed.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Oh, come on, I clicked the goddamn tweet. Come on, no. Oh, here it is. Okay, here we go. Come on. Oh, it's only a screenshot of the video.
Oh, okay. I mean, I can look it up on Twitter.
Let me see here. I wanted to play it because the dude was rightfully fucking pissed. You know, and it was an embedded video that just played. You didn't have to go on TMZ to play it. Where the fuck? Come on, man. Oh well. Let me see. I'm looking. Should be getting closer here. It's from this morning. Well, anyways, fuck. I did want to show that video. Son of a bitch. Let me see. Wait. Let me try one more thing here. And plus, this will help us. This will also help us test something here and see if the issue is just YouTube videos or any video.
It's still on the. It's still showing the Yahoo.
No. Fuck. Yeah. All right. Let me get off of there. See, why won't it just take me to that fucking post? You son of a bitch. I'm gonna get off on the Yahoo. Get off there because Yahoo did all that Yahoo can do. All right, let's see here. Media. Here we go. All right. So I'm going to present this screen. And like I said, this will be good because we can test to see if the issue is just YouTube. Oh, there you go. Okay.
Officers raided my house as if I was a drug dealer. I was sat outside my house for 5 hours. I had to get a police escort to my bathroom. I wasn't even allowed to feed my rescue horses breakfast or lunch. I was sat there like a criminal. After they interrogated my wife to check out her immigration status, then proceeded to ask me if I had cameras in my house, then proceeded to go through every cabinet, nook, and cranny of my house for a squirrel and a raccoon.
They got a search warrant
They got a search warrant. 4 departments and a judge signed off on a search warrant for a squirrel and a raccoon. And then they took them and killed them.
Why did they go through all that to get a search warrant for an animal that had been with you very safely and the world witnessed this for 7 years? Why now suddenly did they show up with a search warrant and take these animals?
We haven't a clue. We don't know who made the complaints. Again, Peanut was an indoor squirrel, not harming anybody. He's been with us. Not a single complaint was ever filed for this animal. We had him for 7.5 years. He became the world's most famous squirrel. We weren't hiding him by any means. He was all over TikTok. He became the first squirrel on TikTok to ever hit 1 million followers. He did every news station around the world. He's helped people. He's helped kids gather joy. And then we started a nonprofit animal rescue called Peanut's Freedom Farm to help animals like Peanut fight a good fight when they're in a neglected case or they're sitting in a slaughter auction. And he was the cornerstone of our life and our organization. We used his platform to help raise money for the 300 animals we have at our sanctuary.
So there you go. Guys, rightfully
sometimes
fucking pissed, dude.
Hey, sometimes it's funny how like when they catch like bad people, like think about like fucking Dylan Roof, the fucking church shooter. They took him out without ease, took him to fucking Burger King, but they raid this fucking guy's house like he's a goddamn human trafficker, a drug dealer over a goddamn pet squirrel, and euthanize
an indoor squirrel.
Yeah,
and they killed it.
Yeah, they killed. Did they kill the raccoon too?
Yeah. Euthanize them both. Yeah.
Fucked up.
So people are rightfully pissed off because, and now, so the reason why this is a big deal on Twitter is because there is an election in 3 days now, 4 days, something like that. 3 days. So a lot of the Trump supporters are using this as like a rallying cry.
Yeah.
Because a big part of the campaign has been animals and pets and fucking, to me, I mean, who gives a fuck, dude? It's not like he had an alligator or a crocodile or some shit, dude. It's a fucking squirrel.
Yeah. It's no different than having like a fucking hamster, really.
Yeah, what, a couple fucking inches and a longer tail?
Yeah.
Like, come on, dude. And plus, yo, he said they had it for 7 fucking years.
Yeah, it said the raccoon was 7 years old too.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's what we do here in New York. Great place. Love it.
We got people housed up in luxury hotels for free in New York, but we euthanize squirrels because those are the actual threat to the community.
So fucking twisted, dude.
So there was what was it? Not on the ticker earlier, but I can't remember now.
Let's see. Election night, November 5th, live all night. Don't forget, guys.
Did you bring up those Reddit posts?
Shit. No. I think I do have it.
If you didn't, it's okay.
I think I do have it. No.
They were like some scary story shit. I know what I was going to talk about. We were talking about yesterday about if a person's sense of humor can correlate with their intelligence level. Because I come across people every day where it's like, oh, Diddy baby oil, huh? Like that's so fucking funny. I'm like, it's really not funny. And it never really was. Like, don't get me wrong, you and me laugh at dark shit all day, but like that shit was never funny. It was like such cliche surface level shit. So like there's people that I tell really dark, or I show them memes that are really fucking dark, and it just blows all the way over their fucking head. Yeah.
And I'll never forget when I was in college. I don't know if this was just a thing when I was in college. Maybe it's over with now. Yeah. But there was like a group. It wasn't just one kid. It was like I would walk around campus and I hear it all the time. Be like, so like someone would say something and they'll be like, did you go to class? Did you go to history class or something? They'd be like, yeah, but can you imagine if I didn't? And it's like every like all like they're fucking like they're trying to make a joke about like everything.
Yeah, one of the weirdest ones I ever heard was like when I was in middle school, these guys came up to me and they're like, "Are you negative?" And I'm like, that's all they said to me. I was 11 years old and they're like, "Are you negative?" And I'm like, "What does that mean?"
Yeah.
And then they're like, "Just say yes." And I'm like,
Well,
okay.
no, I'm gonna say no.
I'm like, okay, yes. And then they all started laughing. I'm falling over laughing. I'm like, well, what does that even have to do with anything? And then
did they ever tell you what it meant?
No, I didn't even know the guy. I saw him around school, but like I didn't even know them. And then like another like someone like me who was raised on like good music, good film, good comedy, like just raised around good pop culture shit. Like I wasn't really like, don't get me wrong, like I watched like Disney movies and shit when I was a kid, but I was put on to like legit music when I was like 3 years old. And it's fun. And I was raised on good comedy like Chappelle, like even way back when I was a little kid when Chappelle was on, like, so like again, I understood pretty dark shit from an early age. And like I just remember like in school, kids would be like, "Oh, I have Dane Cook on my iPod."
Oh my god, dude! Do you remember how fucking popular he was for that?
Dude! Oh, have you seen the new Jeff Dunham Spark of Insanity? I'm like, no, like, and then it's funny. Like, I was raised on again good comedians, Dave Chappelle, all these Patton Oswalt, and then I would go home from school and I'd be like, "Dad, who's Jeff Dunham?" And my dad would like fucking roll his eyes. And he's like the kid. I was like, the kids at school won't stop talking about it and they want me to watch it. And my dad's like, nah, he's a fucking retarded white trash comedian with puppets.
Yeah, right. Yes. Good call.
But yeah, it was like, oh my god, dude, I have Dane Cook on my iPod. Like, both of those guys were gone. There was another one. Oh, everybody thought fucking Gabriel Iglesias was so fucking funny.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, all three of those guys are straight up childish ass, like completely surface level G-rated fucking comedy. Like it's not. It was never funny.
It doesn't make you think. It doesn't. There's no logic. Like
yeah, and it's like it boggles my mind that like Dane Cook used to fucking sell out NBA arenas.
Yeah, like, dude, he was huge for a minute there.
Yeah, and it's like everything was just
now.
Everything was surface level.
I'm pretty sure that he would still be a big thing if he didn't get caught doing something with a younger girl, right?
Yeah, he had like a barely
legal. It was like 16 or 17.
Yeah, like a barely legal, either not legal or barely legal girl.
I think she was illegal. Is what I'm remembering. I think.
Have you ever seen like or heard the story of when? Because remember, Carlos Mencia was really big too.
Yeah. Oh, the Joe Rogan shit.
When Joe Rogan goes up on stage because he stole that shit, legit. Like, I remember when Mind of Mencia was on, like when I was a little kid.
That was Comedy Central trying to recoup Chappelle's show.
Yeah,
because Chappelle left.
Yeah,
didn't take the money, and they gave the time slot to Carlos Mencia with a similar kind of sketch comedy show thing. Yeah.
And like that, the Joe Rogan joke stealing thing, like completely
ruined his career.
Like he doesn't like, he's like off the grid now. Like and that was before the age of like, that was way before the age of like cancel culture. Cause I was like 2007 or something. But like we like you hear of all these people getting canceled, but like they don't really get canceled. Like, that, like, don't get me wrong, like Harvey Weinstein went to fucking prison, Louis C.K. kind of ruined his career.
Yeah.
But like, this dude is like off. This dude went from being on cable television to being like off the grid, like to the point where like some little shitty casinos in the middle of fucking nowhere will not book him.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Dude, completely fucking, Joe Rogan fucked him up, dude.
And I guess Joe Rogan spoke about it since, and like he feels bad.
Yeah.
Like it was the right thing to do to call someone on their shit, but he feels bad that it like completely ruined everything for him.
Yeah, it did, dude. It really fucking did. Speaking of being raised on good music, it makes you a bit of a snob, right? But it's a good thing. It's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Just like you said, like when it comes to the comedy, right? I want to listen to good music. Just like I want to listen to good comedy and whatever. So I figured I'd pull this up. Yesterday was
I have this on DVD somewhere.
And yesterday was the anniversary. I want to say, let's see,
94. So it's like, it released in 94, but Kurt Cobain died like in April, so it was like a post-humus release. Because Kurt Cobain died.
Oh, it was recorded in 93.
Yeah, it was filmed in 93, dropped in 94. Okay. I assume.
Okay. But yeah, I just wanted to acknowledge that because to me, that's the best live. Well, maybe not best live, but it's the best unplugged of all time.
I like that one and the Alice in Chains unplugged.
Alice in Chains is a good one too. It's a good one too.
Because that was one of the last performances with their vocalist before he like went into hiding for 6 years. And what's living, being, obviously it was before I moved here and before I was born, but like,
yeah.
So like Kurt Cobain was performing till like a fucking month before he died, a couple weeks before he died.
Yeah.
Like, the way that Alice in Chains singer went out is really odd and fascinating. Like obviously he was a really bad drug addict. He was a heroin addict. But the last 6 years of his life, he like lived in exile in this condo in Seattle, like a nice like luxury condo in Seattle. But like he like nobody like hardly ever saw him. Like the last like 5 years of his life, like nobody saw him. And like the way they found him dead was that his accountant like called his mom because money hadn't been withdrawn from his account in 2 weeks. And then so they called the police and they went to his condo in Seattle and they found him dead and he had
I'm gonna be honest with you. I know about none of this. I thought that he died like while they were still putting shit out.
No. So I know about this just because they're like one of my favorite bands.
Yeah.
They're from where I live and stuff, like Washington, Seattle. So that the unplugged performance in '96 was one of their last performances with him. And again, if you look at him, he's really fucked up even then, and that was 6 years before he died. And so they were supposed to go on a tour, like that summer, because that was in like April. And I think they did like 3 dates, and then like the last time he performed with them was like a tour date in like Kansas City, and he overdosed on heroin after the show. And then from then on, he never performed with them again. And then I think in 99 they released a couple songs, but they never performed together again. And again, like there's actually a really good video about it on YouTube that I honestly, like, ever since I was a kid, I always like wondered like about the last years of his life. But again, like very little is known because he was a recluse. But like people saw him like at the grocery store and shit, like in the last 2 years of his life. And like they would say like he weighed like 80 fucking pounds and had no teeth and shit. Like it really like, again, like he didn't go out like Kurt Cobain because Kurt Cobain just fucking shot himself in the head. Like it was a very like dark and long descent.
Not many people know, and I only know because my cousin is a really big music fan overall, but she likes like 60s, 70s music, shit like that. And she swears that Jim Morrison was killed by his girlfriend.
How
because,
so?
Yeah, because she was found. So she found him in the bathtub. No one else saw his body but her.
Yeah.
So she was a long-term companion of Jim Morrison, singer of The Doors. Corson stated that she discovered Morrison's body in a bathtub of a Paris apartment in 1971. She died 3 years after him in 1974. So,
I mean, a lot of people say that Kurt Cobain didn't actually fucking kill himself, that like his wife set up like a fucking murder for hire, basically. So there's that. out there. And there is a lot of stuff that points to it, but it's not proven. But
I mean, I think it's just people rationalizing.
It's crazy that Kurt Cobain's daughter is married to Tony Hawk's
son. Yeah. How fucking wild is that, yo?
And Eminem's a grandpa.
I know. How fucking weird is that, dude?
Who's that?
What's up, fool? It's good, bro. It's good. Hafiz.
Oh,
he bought a tripod.
Oh shit! Okay, I have one. I just need to go get it. It's at my parents' house.
I'm trying to see what else we have to cover here today. Let's see. I think the last thing is the church going people.
Yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know anything about the story outside of that.
We're going in raw. We don't know what we're getting out of it.
Yeah, exactly. So the only thing I know about this story is the headline. His wife committed suicide 6 months ago, and the feds just seized his, not seized, or raided, I guess, his shit. As soon as this article pops up here. Okay. Here we go. Mika, whatever. Miller's pastor husband, John, people died in a notorious suicide, has had his South Carolina home raided by the FBI. Bureau officials searched the Myrtle Beach home of John Paul Miller Friday, 6 months after he announced his wife Micah's suicide in a bizarre sermon. So he just goes up there, he's like, "Hello, congregation, my wife killed herself."
I just went up there on a normal Sunday. You froze up
last night. Like, what? Agents told W activity said they've been told agents were to execute their. Wait, hold on. Okay, so I'm back. Now I'm just waiting for this to show up. Come on. Let's see if I go back to it. Come on, bitch. Damn. It's always Daily Mail. Always fucking Daily Mail. Why? All right, hold on. I'm going to stop sharing it, and then I'm going to share it again. See if that does anything. All right, let's see. Let me bring this back up here. Share screen. All right. This should be fine now. Hopefully. Let's see. Okay. There we go. Okay, good. All right. So here's them. Here's him, and there's her.
It's not showing that on my.
Let's see here. Pastor Jonathan Miller left FBI Friday 6 months after as the raid began. It's off again?
No, we're good now.
Okay. They could be seen down in gloves. Micah shot herself dead in Lumber River State Park in Robeson County, South Carolina in April. Fuck. Haunting surveillance footage showed her buying a gun at a pawn shop shortly before her death, then driving into the remote area where she ended her life. There's no suggestion that Miller was directly involved with his wife's death. But allegations of abuse and infidelity began to swirl shortly after he announced Micah's passing at Market Common Church. In May this year, DailyMail.com revealed how Miller's church has a property portfolio worth at least $5.59 million and a 4-seat plane worth $430,000. Now, what would you do without that plane? The Lord wants you to have that plane.
Yeah.
Scrutiny has been mounting on Solid Rock Ministries after it was revealed that church leaders plan to allow John Paul Miller back to the pulpit following allegations of sexual encounters with underage girls.
I'm shocked.
Oh my God. Yeah. There's the plane.
Why does a church
There's
need a
the ministry right there. There's him. I'm assuming during the fucking. And I guess this is her buying the gun. Oh no, she pulled her car up to a gas pump, walked in the store, bought an energy drink, walked out. We're filling up her tank and driving away.
What kind of energy drink was it? Was it sugar free?
Micah's sister Sierra also told. I bet she looks like a Red Bull girl to me.
Yeah, definitely.
Documents accusing Miller of colluding to defraud and deprive the 30-year-old of her fair share of property after he sold them to the church. Public documents obtained by Daily Mail show that Solid Rock Ministries was granted to tax-exempt status in 2015. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. So, there's your good souls of the day, people. Really good stuff.
There's your great. There's your good.
Let's see if it's saying
the day.
Yeah. Public documents obtained by Daily Mail. Okay. Miller's home address in Horry County is now owned by Solid Rock Ministries. He sold them in December 23, 2 months after Micah initially filed for divorce and asked that the property be split equally between them. Filings by Sierra's lawyer accuses Miller of selling the properties for $169,331.31, which they argue is significantly less than the true value of the property. Records seen by Daily Mail show the taxable value of the property is $240,000, around $70,000. The market sucks ass. They must have something to fucking raid his house, dude. I mean, well, not necessarily, but yeah.
So they're not. So he has nothing to do with his wife's death, but he's a financial fraudster, basically, right?
At the very least. Yes. 100%. Let's see here. Well, you want to take a break, or you want to cut it? What do you want to do, man?
I mean, is that all we got? I think that's about all we got.
Yeah, I mean, Tuesday's a really big one, anyways.
Yeah. This was our crown jewel. This is our filler.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Tuesday night's the big one. Actually, I was gonna ask you on here, but I'll text you when we get off of here about Tuesday.
Okay, no problem.
All right, we'll see you guys Tuesday.
All right,
peace.
Glad I tried this now.